Hey guys, it's Miss Smith. Today, on this edition of Cover to Cover, we are going to be asking ourselves this thinking question. What if everybody said that? See, words have lots of power. We use words with our lips. We also say a lot of words to ourselves. We use words to share ideas and thoughts and help solve problems. We also use our words to give answers and communicate with others. But our words can either be helpful or hurtful. And sometimes, well, let's be honest, our stubborn and selfish buttons get turned on. And we don't always use our words to speak life to people. Instead, we use our words to speak death, meanness, and hurt to other people. So, this question that this book asks is, what if everybody said that? This book is written by Ellen Javernick. She is the author. The illustrator, the person who drew the pictures, is named Colleen Madden. So again, let's jump in and ask ourselves the question, what if everybody said that? Here we go. What if everybody said that? Now, you are going to notice that in this book, the characters don't really have any names, but this young lady is one of our main characters. I don't know what her name is, but you can use your imagination and give her a name. She is going to be one of our characters that you see over and over again who has to ask themselves, what if everybody said that? And then you see their imaginations and what they imagine would happen in our world if people said those type of words. This was written back in 2018, and you can see some illustrations already on this title page. Some of the illustrations give us words that people might say to each other that speak death and sadness and hurt. So up at the top, it says, wow, you're really bad at math. And the other guy says, this is really hard for me. Now, guys, we all struggle with different things, right? But it would be really hurtful if someone said something really mean to us while we were struggling. Instead of speaking life, they speak meanness and death and hurt to us. No, that is something that we can really be in control of, is the words that come out of our mouth. At the park, some kids asked if they could play with me. I said, no boys allowed. Their mom yelled at me and said, what if everybody said that? Now look at the next page. This is her imagination about what would happen if everybody said nobody's allowed. Look at the little sign that says no freckles allowed. Or the girls trying to climb a pole. No climbing for girls. And she says, oh, that's mean. People are in the swing. No big kids. What? In art class, we were drawing dogs. And I looked at the other kid's picture and I said, ugh, those don't look like dogs to me. I laughed. The art teacher made me apologize. What if everybody said that? Look at these disappointed artists. It's garbage anyway, the boy says. The girl says, I'm a really bad artist. And look at these kids walking away in disappointment. I'll never draw again. Now, guys, not everybody is awesome at art, but there's nothing wrong with trying. But if we make fun of other people's work, that's going to discourage them from trying again. We need to use our words to speak life and encouragement, especially when people are struggling. We don't ever want our words to cause somebody else to just want to quit. At the beach, I just wanted to scare my cousin. Look, I teased. There's a shark. The lifeguard heard me screaming and called down, Hey, what if everybody said that? Look at the next page. If everybody just started yelling shark over and over again, people would start to panic. They're all running. Oh, shark, swimming polar bears, monster hermit crabs, the undertows, oh, peanut butter and jellyfish. See, words can cause people to get scared and panic. It's not funny and it's not a joke when our words really upset people. Now, look at them running. There can be a lot of people who could possibly get hurt because this person decided they wanted to play a joke. Jokes are supposed to be funny. They're not supposed to cause people to worry or get scared or get hurt. During sharing time at school, I really wanted to tell my class about my new shoes, so I shouted, me first! Me first! Our teacher frowned and she said, No. What if everybody said that? Well, then the girl starts to imagine all the people yelling out at the same time. This is my turtle Flash. He's the fastest turtle known to man. Oh, I'm an elf. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Me. Oh, me first. This is my favorite comic book called Crab Boy and Lobster Girl, and they fight crime under the sea. Oh, me first. Me first. This is Camalala Gala and my aunt bought him from rock climbing in a pond. Oh, I believe it's my turn. Me. No, me. Oh, this is a valuable baseball sound by Lifty LaRue. That's really crazy. If everybody hollered out and said me first and it would be really hard to listen and for anybody to have a turn. So raising our hand and waiting our turn is not just polite and good manners, but it helps keep things calm and organized so that everybody can be fair and have a turn. When a boy in my class got sunglasses, or not sunglasses, those are real glasses, I said, you sure look funny. The principal heard me and he shook his head. What if everybody said that? Oh, look at the next page. Now, we see some people at the top of the page who are using their devices to send messages back and forth. Look at what they're saying in their messages about this girl. OMG. Did you see the new girl? Yeah, those braces? LOL, metal mouth. And what's with her hair? Weirdo. Totally. And look at the girl. She says, oh, I thought I looked pretty. Oh, such sad, hurtful words. Now look at the next picture. People are writing on the board, and the girl looks, and you'll remember this example from the title page. She says, wow, you're really bad at math. And the boy, he says, this is so hard for me. Math is not easy for everybody. In fact, there's a lot of things that you and I might struggle with, but when we're trying our best and somebody uses their words to make fun of us and put us down, oh, that's so hurtful. And then look at the girl and the guy standing talking. The girl says, "Ugh, that shirt looks so weird." And the guy doesn't say anything. He just looks sad. Now, you can see that guy is much taller than that girl. So he might be older than her. But see, it doesn't matter if we're little or big or tall or short. Our words have power. No matter how old or young we are, no matter if we're a guy or a girl or a kid or an adult, words have lots of power. When one of the kids forgot her lunch on our field trip, the guide asked some of us to share ours. And I said, no way. I'm going to eat all of mine by myself. The guide glared down at me and said, well, what if everybody said that? Now look at this little girl. She's over here under the tree, sitting by herself, looking sad. She totally forgot her lunch. Everybody else is eating, and the only people that seem to be caring for her are the adult guide and the giraffe. The giraffe feels sorry for her. And I bet if the giraffe had some food, the giraffe would probably share. Sometimes we need to share. We need to be helpful. If we've got something that somebody doesn't have, we can share what we have and show a little kindness. I'm sure this young lady would have appreciated any food because I'm sure it's lunchtime and she's probably a little hungry. When our teacher was in the hospital, the substitute suggested that we make him get well cards, and I said, maybe later. I'm busy playing right now. The sub held up the empty card box and said, what if everybody said that? Oh, look at this card box. It says get well soon on the outside, and it's supposed to have a lot of different get well cards for the teacher in it, but it looks sort of empty. And look at the teacher's face. He's there in the hospital with a bunch of broken bones, and he doesn't have any visitors, and he doesn't have any cards to cheer him up. Oh, wow. See, just turning off our selfish button for just a minute and doing or saying something kind can make a big difference. On the soccer field, when my team was losing, I said, "Ugh, this game is dumb. I quit." Coach blew her whistle. What if everybody said that? Now look at the field. If everybody said that a game was dumb and they quit, well, then there would never be any players on a field ever, whether it was soccer or football or baseball or cheerleading or gymnastics or whatever the sport. It's really easy to give up. It's really easy when things are hard, when there's a struggle, when we are failing and making mistakes. It's really easy to give up. But if we all gave up and said, "This is dumb, I quit," then we would never learn new skills or have fun at anything new, whether it was a sport or something at school or a new trick that you learned. We can't give up all the time, guys. We got to keep going. When a new kid moved in next door, I told her, "I've got plenty of friends already." I did not invite her to play. Now, Mom heard and gave me a disappointed look. What if everybody said that? I thought. So the next day, I went to the girl's house and I said, "I'm sorry. Let's be friends. Welcome to the neighborhood." Oh, your cat. It's so pretty. Do do you want to play with me? We could go ride bikes in the park. What if everybody said that? Hmm, that's a little different. Everybody should. She's made a new friend. She's turned off her stubborn and selfish button. She's starting to speak life and kindness. And now, not only is she in a better mood, but she has a new friend because she made the choice to speak life. And she feels better and she's behaving better and making better choices because of that choice. So, guys, I hope that this book causes you to pause and think about the words that you speak out loud to others and quietly to yourself. Are you speaking life with the words that you say? Guys, thanks for joining me today for Cover to Cover. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a blessed day, folks, and keep on shining.